Alright, hello guys, it's me, Rotlol. Today, we're going to be talking about the flaws in which rhythm games you should not use, especially Funky Friday. So the first one that I see a lot of people mess up is their keybinds. So let's go to our keybinds. They should be in here. So this is basically like a Funky Friday miniature guide, kind of. So, the flaws in keybinds. I will give you keybinds on the screen about now what to use. So use those, just make sure you use those. And that'll be nice to use because you'll need to use them. Because they're mostly the keybinds that most people use. And third, the third, no, Ben. Okay, the third thing is choosing which arrows you like. Because this can be a big step in your rhythm gaming career. You can have every type of arrow here. A beginning arrow I like to use for I would like to recommend for beginners. Most people I don't like play with are beginners, but I'd recommend doing Plox arrows. They're pretty easy to learn, and if they don't like it, I would recommend using circles. So basically, most players probably are gonna use circles. Oh lord. Yeah, but like most pro players are gonna probably use circles. So So make sure if you need to use circles, go use circles. They're pretty optimal. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, but make sure you use circles. They're very optimal and they'll help a lot. Like, that depends if you like them. If you like arrows, I recommend going with blocks. Yeah, so, yep. Now, for a new Funky Friday player, I just got you a moment to, like, see where I was coming from with this. Give you a moment. This is how... You're gonna wonder how fast it is. Why are my arrows so fast? It's because I chose, my, yeah, arrow speed. So for arrow speed, this is very, very stressful. Like, you should use them. My tips might not actually be 5. These tips might be, like, I don't know, dude. Alright, yep, basically, okay, just use optimal arrow speed. And if you want the exact arrow speed, I would recommend using when you first start playing. No, thank you. Alright, so the best arrow speed I recommend when you're first starting out is probably 1.5. Okay, 1.5. If you use 1.5 in game, it would be nice. It'd be awesome to use. It would be, like, pretty cool, you know. When you first start out, you're probably gonna need to get used to the fast patterns. But if you need them to be slower down, then slow them down. Like, look. I'm doing awesome totally when it's slowed down. And yeah, I just recommend using that. And for our, I don't know how much tips at this point, dude. I lost my mind. For whichever tip, I'd recommend getting mobile tiles. This is only for mobile players, like I said, I think. This is only for mobile players, so if you're not on mobile, you do not need to. Yeah. Yeah, alright. Yeah, alright. Yeah, but I just recommend using mobile tiles. They're super optimal to use when you're a mobile player because you can like press more on the screen, and there's that one option where you can use like I forgot mobile options. You can I'll send you mobile players a link for an in-depth guide of mobile settings. It's just so you guys know how to use them. And for the whichever other tip, this is gonna be the one right here that I'm gonna show you. Transparency. This is so important. Put it at, okay, for a starting point, put it at 0. If you don't like how it's black, put it at 0.5. I used to use 0.5 all the time. It was perfect. And I don't know why silly fangirl looks like that. Is that what it shows up when you search up silly fangirl? My bad. Let me search up silly fangirl, Lucio. Silly fangirl. Bro, I'm friends with silly fangirl. What do you mean? I'm already silly fangirl underscore YouTube. No, this isn't the guy. No, that's not the guy. That's not the real silly fangirl. Silly fangirl Twitch. Man Up Gang. What is the real silly fangirl? Bro, there's so many imposters. So many silly fangirls. I already have the real, silly fangirl added. Totally the real silly fangirl, not just a troll. Where's silly fangirl? Alright, we'll figure this out later. So, okay. Third tip. This is only for Funky Freddy. Do not use this tip for any other game. Make sure you conserve your points and make sure you save it for a high quality animation. So once you go over here, they're gonna be these vote things, and you're gonna want to choose them. You're gonna want to use them. They're gonna be highly usable, and they'll be nice to use. Alright, for whichever other tip, I'd recommend doing songs that are in your skill level, or harder songs if you really need to, not a song that is 10 times harder than your skill level. If you first start, don't try Ghost VIP or Ghoul Mania. Those are not going to be very approachable songs when you first start out, and you're going to be getting used to spamming, which you don't want to get used to. It's not very optimal for songs for beginners. And if you want to know some mods that are pretty good for beginners, I'd recommend playing these 3 mods when you first start out, and then go ahead and play every other mod you really want to. But just make sure you full combo every single song in this list. Regular Friday Night Funkin', Friday Night Funkin' Neo, and Friday Night Funkin' B-Sides. Make sure you FC those, all the songs in those mods, and you'll basically be good. You'll learn a lot of patterns. You'll learn stream patterns, jack patterns, a whole lot of patterns. Holds, you want to learn those. Those will be really useful for harder songs, such as Camellia songs mostly. Nothing really else but that. Make sure you check your stats, because you never know when you're going to need your stats, since here's the thing, if you want to learn how to improve and learn from your gameplay and see which is your best score, try to beat that score. If it's on a song that you like, then try to beat that score on the song that you like. So just make sure you use the statistics button, and yeah, sure, you'll be good. Make sure you use codes. Codes are very useful, because you can get free emotes or maybe even points. Points are these things right here. Oh yeah, points. Oh yeah, you can buy animations with these. There's a whole nother game. It's like a whole nother game, dude. You can get a lot of cool animations. Like, see? Let me get an animation, for example, that looks really cool. See? Come on. Alright, let's look. So, let's go to run. You know, uh, look at, this is cool, right? Yeah, so don't pick a song that's kind of like this, where you're not on the skill level to do it. I'm only not doing as good right now, is just because, arrow speed, but I recommend using those arrow speeds. They're very useful, they help a lot. Make sure you use arrow speed in the first place. Alright, this is probably going to be the last tip for this video. Please, God, please use, and I mean it when I say it, use your I forgot what I was gonna say. Use your um uh okay, I forgot. I know what I was gonna say. Optimally train every day. Do not uh don't do not, and I repeat, do not train optimally. Do not train every once in a while. Don't train every day. Train every once in a while, maybe every hour or two, and play for around 12 to 10 minutes. Well, 12 to 20 minutes. Those will give you the fundamentals you need, and you don't have to break your arm through the course of that hour. Just try to make sure you have an optimal setup for what you want to play. If you want to play every hour, make sure you play 10 to 20 minutes every hour and take a break, especially if you're playing harder songs. But if you're not playing harder songs, then you can do a song, you can play like me, which is around 30 to 40 minutes no, not a day, probably an hour. Just play 30 to 40 minutes an hour or so, because that's when your hands have increased stamina, so it's easier for you to play for a longer period of time, which I recommend doing. The last tip, I'd recommend playing every single mode. You want to play through 9 key, 7 key, 6 key, 5 key, and 4 key. Play all these game modes. Um, they'll help you with your 4 key experience and your other experiences. So make sure you go use those. And yeah, this is gonna be it for our video. Thank you guys for watching. See ya.